Good morning to all. Today I am going to discuss with you a topic of grammar. The name of the topic is modals, means moral auxiliaries. So let's understand with the help of definition what are modal auxiliaries. Students, we know that modal auxiliaries are helping verbs which are not affected by person or genders. So after reading this definition, we come to know that these are helping verbs and these are not affected by person or gender. Person means whether it is singular or plural. Gender, whether it is masculine gender, feminine gender or neuter gender. So these are not affected by the gender and person. Their form is not changed in a sentence. So here are the example of modals which we use in English grammar. Shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might. Students, one more thing, have you noticed that after indicating shall, I applied the second form of shall, that is should. Will, second form of will is would. Can, second form of can is could. May, might. So these all words are used as modals auxiliary in English grammar and are except it, must, ought to, dare, need, used to. This is a list of modals which are used in English grammar. The next question would arise in our mind that why we use modal auxiliaries in English grammar. What is the need? So, firstly, these are used to express the mode or manner of the actions denoted in the main verb. They are never used alone. They must have a principal verb with them. They have same form throughout, whatever the person and the number of subject. Please pay focus on this example. I can run. They can run. Here I is a singular subject and they plural. But after these two subjects, I use can modal auxiliary and it didn't change its form when it was applied after I and after can. And they always comes with the principal verb. So here principal verb is run. The most important rule regarding modal auxiliary that we must have knowledge and always keep in our mind that we can't use two infinitives with them. For example, I will to go to Delhi. In this sentence, after I applied modal auxiliary will, but to is used with will. That is totally wrong sentence. The correct formation of sentence is I will go to Delhi. This is the right formation of sentence according to this toolkit. To infinitive is not used after modal auxiliaries. So students, now we will learn individually the use of modals. Firstly, here is shall. The first use of shall, we know very well that in future tenses it is used for what? To express future with the first person. As we know very well that shall is applied when our subject is I and we. For example, I shall go to Mumbai. We shall go to Mumbai. I shall deliver a speech on the stage. We shall play a match in the evening. So shall is used after I and we. Next use of shall is to express a command. You shall leave this place at once. हम जब ऑर्डर देते हैं बच्चे किसी को, दैट्स वाई. और प्लीज नोट इट डाउन. हेयर आई एम अप्लाइंग shall before you, not after I and we, because shall is used in another sense for expressing command, for giving order. The next use of shall is to express a threat. Threat mean धमकी. जब हम किसी को धमकाते हैं, you shall be dismissed from the service. Next, to express promise. He shall get a prize if he wins the match. The very important use of shall is in interrogative sentences with the first person. For what? To indicate, offer or suggestion, to offer a service also. For example, shall I make a cup of tea for you? Shall I leave this place? Shall I bring some water for you? Which book shall I buy? Suggestion ke when we demand some suggestion from other persons. Here we use shall. With the third person, shall is also used for what? To know the desire of the person spoken to. जिसके साथ हम बात कर रहे हैं, अगर हम उसकी डिजायर को जानना चाहते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, shall the potter carry your box upstairs? Shall the potter carry your box upstairs? We, through this sentence, we are trying to know the desire of the other person with whom we are speaking, कि whether he was ready to hire a potter. In a complex sentence, will and shall are always used with the principal clause, not with the subordinate clause. Always they comes with the principal clause. For example, I shall help him if he works for me. The next use we will learn, that is of should. We know very well that should is the second form of shall. Shall, should. So clear from here, it is firstly past form of shall. And why we use? Firstly, to express duty, suppositions, then condition. To express duty, it means जब हमने अपनी ड्यूटी को, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू शुड डू योर ड्यूटी ऑन टाइम. नेक्स्ट, मान लो, इफ आई शुड मीट हिम. ये एक इमेजिनेशन करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैथ्स में वी यूज बेटे सपोज कर लेना. तो सपोज करना, प्रोसेस ऑफ सपोज करना, दैट इज सपोजिशन. इफ आई शुड मीट हिम नाउ, he will not recognize me. Next use of shall is advise. You should respect your elders. Next is condition. Condition mean अगर हम कोई शर्त अप्लाई करते हैं, should this happen, I will resign. अगर ऐसा होता है तो I will resign. The next use of shall as past tense of shall in indirect speech. For example, I said, comma inverted comma start, I shall sing a song tomorrow. This is the formation of direct sentence in a reported speech. And when we convert this direct sentence into indirect speech, so then shall would convert into should. I said, after omitting comma inverted comma, we apply that I Shall will convert into should. I should sing a song the next day. After lest. Lest means showing fear. To show the fear, this word is used, and with it we always use should. Walk carefully lest you should stumble, you should fall. We can use the here word stumble, and at the place of stumble we can use the word fall also.